Good morning and welcome to the Leveling Up podcast. My name is Kari Puleo. I am your host and the Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. This podcast is all about everything happening in Utica, the Chamber, and what you must see and do in these upcoming weeks. First off, we have a couple of events that we'd like to tell you about. Tomorrow night is our business after hours, Thursday, March 10th. We will be at Fort Schuyler Club, hosted by Broadway Utica. There's going to be live music by the Dovetones. Also, the Broadway Utica is giving away tickets and some baskets, so you really want to get out, network, and attend these events. You can register online today at greateruticachamber.org. Also coming up, in honor of Women's History Month, we have a very special Leads event. It's called Leads and Ladies, and it's a tea at the compound in Baggs Square. This will be on Thursday, March 31st. It is limited to 20 chamber member participants only, so you really want to get your registration in quick because we're really filling up fast. A really unique way to network, meet new people, grow your business, and make connections. We hope to see you there. Next month, we are celebrating our 125th annual meeting at the Delta Hotel on Tuesday, April 5th. It's going to be a fantastic evening. You're going to learn all about what the Chamber has to offer, new benefits, an update on our What's Upstate initiative that we've talked about, as well as, kind of a little quick history about the Chamber and some really fun, unique things. Thank you to our sponsors for that. Our dessert sponsor is NBT Bank, and our entertainment sponsor is DeGiorgio Law Firm. There are still a few limited sponsorship opportunities available, so if you're interested, greateruticachamber.org for all of the information on that. Other great things happening. There's businesses growing and coming to Utica, so we have a number of ribbon cuttings coming up. On Tuesday, March 15th at 10 a.m., the compound in Baggs Square will be opening. They have a location in Clinton, and they're staying there. This is their second location, well known for their butter and grilled cheese, but they're also offering a host of new menu options. Burgers are high on their list, some salads and soups. You're going to want to check it out. And then in New Hartford, we have two new businesses opening, Jiffy Lube on March 18th and Hoffman Car Wash on March 22nd. They're doing some great giveaways, including free car washes. And if your car looks like mine, you want to get down there and take advantage. So join us for those ribbon cuttings. All the information's on our website, as well as our members events that are happening. You can check out our website for all of the information and details on those. Speaking of members events, we've got a couple of great things returning to the Utica area. After a long hiatus, the Boilermaker will be back in July. And if you didn't run this year, open registration starts on March 11th. So you're going to want to sign up and get your sneakers on and get your registration in so you can join us for this, what will be a really historic welcome back party at the brewery. Additionally, this weekend, we have another returning Utica staple, the Utica St. Patrick's Day Parade. The Chamber and Catalyst will be in full force, out marching. So join us, wave high, see you there. We're really excited about being a part of this really fun event. The Irish Cultural Center has a bunch of really great things happening as well, so we urge you to check out their website. They have their Mass this Friday night, the Irish Cultural Mass, and then also next week they have at Twin Ponds on St. Patrick's Day their annual St. Patrick's Day dinner. So check out all the information on their website. Really excited to celebrate St. Patrick's Day again in a big way here in the city. Lastly, one thing that I've noticed, Utica loves to eat. Brunch is back in a big way. Some of our member restaurants are offering for the first time or reintroducing brunch. So check out all of their websites for their specials going on and all the information. But a few that are new or returning, 5 Points, Iconic, Ocean Blue, Baggs Square, Woodland Brewery. There's always so many great options. So you really want to check out all the places to eat after a fun Saturday out this weekend. And some of these places also offer brunch on Saturdays too, so check their websites for their menu and information. So with me here today, my guest is Alan Leist, CEO of Strategic Financial. I'd like to welcome him to the podcast. Family-owned business. How did you get into it? You know,
Sure,
were you really pushed, or was it your choice?
No, great question. So Strategic was founded in '79 by my dad in Utica, New York. And the backstory there is he was a tool salesman, I guess, for a company called Chicago Pneumatic. And they moved him around the country a little bit. And they said, I think the next stop was Canada. I might have that wrong a little bit. And he had one young child, a couple on the way, and he said, I am not moving again. We're staying in Utica, New York, and I'm going to do something different. So a family member was in the business as well, and he said, I'm going to try to redefine the wealth management space. I'm going to do it right here in Utica, New York. And so he did it in '79 with one person in the Mayrow building, which I think is being redone.
It is.
Right now. And from there, he said his first check, I think, was for $15,000. He took that check and hid it so nobody would see it, and he was so proud of it, and it was a big moment. And from that moment forward, we've grown to 30-plus people. We manage $1.8 billion in assets. We have over 1,000 clients. We have clients in 30-plus states in the United States. And I'm just so proud of the story and the team that has built that business. So we don't like to say it's a family-owned business. It's now owned by 7 different owners, and we hope that number grows, and we hope that we're in upstate New York for decades to come as one of the leading firms in the country.
Yeah, so Utica, New York is your headquarters, but you also have other offices as well.
We recently hired a new advisor in Rochester, and we call it the Thruway Plus strategy. So we have an office in Rochester, we have an office in Syracuse, Rome, brand new office there. Utica is the headquarters. We just rented some space in Little Falls, and we also have a new office in Troy, New York. So we've got great people across the Thruway, and we're excited about the growth that that's going to afford us. And hopefully we can help people in upstate New York with some great financial plans to live a great life. Yeah.
So were you led into this career path by your dad, or was it really your choice, or what kind of drove you down this road?
That was the trap question that I picked up on there. Like, did you get forced into it? When I graduated from Colgate, part of what we talked about was going out and doing something on your own. And it really wasn't a thought to come back to Utica, to come back and work for the business. So I went down, worked for Merrill Lynch for 9 years, left New York City. And the story behind that was I saw... And listen, New York City is a great place to work. It's a great place to live, especially for young people. But what it also does is give you an appreciation for what we have up here. And there was a moment where I saw a father and a son working together. And I said, well, and it was in the company I worked for. And I said, well, they're working together. Maybe I should pick up the phone and see if my dad still wants me to come back. Because when I graduated Colgate, he said, hey, you can come work for us if you want. I said, no, I'm going to go down to New York City and do my thing. So I called him up and I said, is it still okay if I come home? He claims he cried. I'm not sure. And in the worst negotiation...
And good tears or bad tears?
I'm not sure yet. The jury's still out on that one. And in the worst negotiating move ever, I said, I'd like to come back. And he said, okay, that's great. You're coming back. Now let's talk about your salary. So I forgot. I did it kind of backwards. But the main point is that this place, meaning Utica, and everything in upstate New York is an amazing place to live. And it's an amazing place to run a business. And I'm so grateful that I had that thought or that moment that said, let's do something different and really try to do something special in life for myself, for my family, for this business, rather than being caught down in New York City, which is really, there's a lot of opportunities, but you can really do something special right here in upstate New York.
Yeah, I think moving away for a little bit and getting a taste of what's out there, and then you appreciate more what you have when you come back home.
Big time. It's the best. It's the best. So it moved back in 05, I think, maybe it was 04, 05, right in the fall. And I've been with Strategic now 17 plus years, and it's been an amazing business experience, but also a personal one as well. I met my wife at her restaurant, so I had to make sure I plugged it. So Ventura's restaurant down in Utica, but Nina and I met there. have a great family, a great business, great people that we both work with, and it's just a great way to live.
Yeah. So talking about great people to work with, you have been nominated for 3 years now for Best Business to Work For by Investment Magazine.
Investment News. Yep.
Investment News. And what do you think contributes to that, people loving working for your company? What's your company values and goals that lends to that designation?
One of my friends said, as soon as you get an award like that, don't read your scrapbook because you have to think forward. So I don't want to celebrate awards like that too much. It is a nice recognition, but especially for the crew that is watching right now, we have more work to do. And 3 years ago, when we laid out the vision for strategic, we said we want to be one of the best places in the country to work for if you're a financial advisor. So Investment News does that survey. Mm-hmm. They do it across all of upstate New York, across the whole country, and then they pick the top firms. And so we set that goal, but then we realized that we really have to have a plan. We thought we had a good place to work, but you really have to be intentional about that workplace design to ensure that the people in the workplace are fully engaged in the mission. So there's a lot to your answer, and I'll say a few different things. The first is, why is it important? And when we think about what our mission is, and we call it our purpose, it's to help people live a great life. And that is an ambitious goal to set, and it encompasses a lot.
And it's not just for your employees, it's for your clients as well.
For our clients.
Your overall.
For our clients, exactly. And for the community as well, and for the community. So if we're going to do that, the first thing that you want to do is take care of the people that are going to deliver on that mission. And you hear something like clients first all the time, and there's truth to that, but there's a business concept called the service profit chain model. And it starts with take care of the people that you work with. They will run through walls to make sure that your clients are taken care of. And then if they do that, the clients will be happy, they will stay, they will refer, and eventually profits come. So our philosophy is make sure that we take care of everybody that walks in that door every day, because those are the people that take care of the clients. So that was kind of the thought behind it. Like, why is it important to be a best place to work? Then with that, we thought about our values. Okay, that sounds great, but how are you going to do it? And it's very cliche to say, make sure you have your purpose, make sure you have your values, make sure you know Katie's here. I'm going to ask her to come out in a few minutes. Make sure you know what your target market is. Katie's the person that runs our business development. Strategic planning, it's a cliche. But if you do it right, there's tremendous power in it. And so we said, okay, what are our values? And the funny story about that is we sat in a room in Cooperstown, New York. We spent a whole day talking about our values, and we had 5 great values. We lived with them for a year, and if you asked anybody in the company what those values were, nobody could repeat them. And the issue that we found was they were not authentic. Yeah. So we stopped and said, if we go back to Judy and my dad, the 2 original partners at the firm, who are they? Because they were successful somehow. Mm-hmm. And let's capture that and make sure the people we hire, the people that we reward, live the same way. Yeah. And the 3 values that are true to us, they don't apply to everybody, but they're strategics, they're very simple. And that's to serve and to grow and to live. And so to answer your question, if you are thinking about the business in a way that's authentic, and then really push to make sure that you stay true to that vision, you're going to find the right people that believe the same thing and want to live that life. And I've said this to Katie, because Katie, you've been here about a year, right? And when we were recruiting Katie and a few of the other people that we've recently hired, there's so many decisions in life that make a difference, but there's a handful of really big ones. And it's who you marry, where do you live, where do you go to college, do you have kids, where do you work? Mm-hmm. And so getting back to the values, that commitment to work, to walk into that door every day, needs to be, in our opinion, this is just us, reciprocated and say, that's a huge commitment that you're making as a part of this team. We're going to make the same commitment to you.
So how do you make those commitments in the community? Serve, grow, live. Give us some concrete examples.
And so those 3 examples, when we talk about serve, the most obvious is clients, right? So we're going to serve the clients. Then we get to serve the community. And this would be an example. Let's tell the story. As boring as it may be, let's tell the story. But when we talk about serving the community, let's make sure we're giving back, not only from a monetary standpoint, which we do, I think, very generously, but from a time standpoint as well. And so you want a concrete example? I spend 2-3 nights a week coaching the kids in sports. I love that.
Yeah.
Whatever your passion is, let's make sure we support it with money, with time. So you're serving the community, but then you're serving each other, and you're looking for opportunities within the business to say, how can I make your job easier? How can I deliver something with you that is great for the clients? Support the efforts that you have. So serve community, clients, and each other. Yeah. Okay. Concrete example would be Katie asked me to come down today and do that. I said, yeah, I'll do that. That's a great idea. It's a great idea.
Well, we're great to have you here.
Thank you.
And I kind of want to talk a little bit about, we're talking about what's going on in the world and how, what's happening in Ukraine and the inflation and the cost of gas. And how do you talk to your clients about their investments and reassure them and let them know what are the best strategies that you're hearing from, your side of the table?
The question, especially with the event that's happening right now, is a really emotional question. And so the first part of the answer is to separate what we see on TV, which hits us all in different ways. When we see tragedy, I just saw it as I was walking in here, a children's hospital was bombed. Okay, that is going to hit all of us very deeply. Mm-hmm. And the way that we want to prepare for that is acknowledge that, send thoughts and prayers to the people, help where we can. I saw Rob Esch today is doing something with Save the Date, where he's helping out with Ukraine. We want to help where we can there. So as we say to our clients, our prayers are with the people in Ukraine, but we have to think about the portfolio. We have to be kind of hard-nosed on that front and make sure we're taking care of business. And it's the same thing with the clients, Kari, to answer your question. Emotionally, if you're investing with emotion, you're going to make a mistake. So our job is to remove emotion, and to steal a line from Doug, who's our Chief Investment Officer, the best way to do that is to prepare for the moment in advance, even though you can never predict what that moment will look like. Yeah. And the way we prepare is, one, make sure the portfolio is rock solid. And we use what we call as an evidence-based approach to investing, which we think is simply best practice. It is not sexy, and that's by design. It is very straightforward, but it will get the job done over a full market cycle. And that gets me to the other part of the answer, which is to make sure that that investment portfolio is within a well-structured financial plan, so that, directly to your question, when you say, I'm worried, I feel bad about this, I don't know what it means to me, I can say we were prepared because the portfolio is set up in a way that makes sure your financial plan is not at risk. And I think our clients, especially over the last few years, have heard that message again and again. We believe it, we know it because we've tested it, and then they can rest easy a little bit on the finances, even though the moment is very emotional otherwise. So that's how we do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think that was a great explanation, especially with, people get nervous about money in the future, and your whole purpose is to help people live a great life. So even though right now that's hard, we know that there'll be better times coming, and we need to plan for it and be prepared for it.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
that's right.
Yeah.
Good.
So I want to flip back a little bit, because when you started talking, you talked about how great it is to have a business here in the Mohawk Valley. And one of the things that the Chamber is working on is a regional recruitment tool and helping people, to relocate here and recruit jobs and talent. As a business owner, what would you say are some of the things that lend to, the reasons why it's great to be here specifically?
Sure. So first of all, if you're a business, there's great people to be found right here. That's the first thing. We have these great colleges. We have people that were here and want to move back. So the first thing is to say you can run, and as I was prepping for this, I had 10 different things I wanted to make sure that we hit on. But one of them is we believe that you can run the best wealth management firm in the country from upstate New York. And part of that is because you can have great people. And part of the reason you can have great people is the other areas that surround the work environment are fantastic up here. The simplest things that you just check out, you can commute.
Yep.
It takes me 8 minutes to get to work.
You never have to sit through a
It's awesome.
stoplight.
So you get that one little piece of traffic, you're like, what's going on? Chamber, stop getting us to grow. We like our traffic. Housing prices. We had a consultant come in from San Francisco, and we drove down the Parkway, and his favorite game was, how much does that house cost? And I told him, I said, $350 for that house. $350, that's 3.5 in San Francisco. Yeah. Let alone you don't get the yard. So you got inexpensive housing. I think many of us, I shouldn't say all, but many of us are up here and we have family that surround us. So if you grew up here, the benefit to be able to come back, in my case, see my mom, my dad, my brother, Nina's case, she's got her whole family here. That's huge. Yeah. I mean, what a great way to go through life. So you can run a great business, you can spend time with your family, you can do so in a way that's pretty affordable. And so those are just three things. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah. Talk about the weather. People complain about it.
Having four seasons is nice.
It's fantastic. You go skiing, you go swimming, it's great. Yeah. So it's a great place to live for many reasons, but those are a few.
Yeah. So, and then outside of running a business and having a great reason to have a business here, what are some of your favorite, local must-dos, must-sees for newcomers to the area?
Man, everybody's gonna laugh. I'm so boring, Kari.
Tied up for a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
best restaurant we know, Ventura's.
The local food scene is fantastic, and we'll start with Ventura's, and that's great. So, and it would be remiss not to say, with support of the Chamber, the support of the community, let's just, after COVID, talk about that environment. The community has been amazing, and we're seeing a boom, I think, across different restaurants, different service providers. People want to get back out again, and it's an exciting place to be. You talked about brunches as an example. So go out, have some food, have a good time there. You've got the sporting events, whether it's the Comets, whether it's the local colleges, things like that. You've got the Adirondacks, which are 45 minutes to an hour away. You can go up there in the summer and have unbelievable experiences. I don't hike, but a couple people in the office hike. Aaron, I'm talking to you. You can go hiking. You can go on the boats. In the winter, you've got all these great ski areas. You've got snowmobiling. So there's all these little things to pick from. You've got the Utica Zoo right down the street. We've got the Nexus Center that's being built. Things are happening where the work-life balance was excellent here before. You had a lot of good life things to do. It's getting better and better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every day. So
absolutely phenomenal. Well, great. Other things, you said you prepped 10 things to talk about. Did we cover all of them, or where did we fall short and need to?
No, there's so many things. For the people that are listening to the podcast, when I do these things or when I listen to these things, and there's a lot of content to be absorbed these days, and if you can get one thing out of doing 100 of these, it can change your life. And so that's the way I kind of thought about the prep for today. Whether it's how we operate the business, that comment about the values, that means something. So if you're running a business and you haven't reset your values in a while, take time to do that. Make sure that they're authentic. Make sure that people know what the purpose of your business is, internally and externally, and stick to that. It can be a catalyst. It gets that flywheel moving faster and faster because people get behind that movement. We talked about the importance of taking care of the people that work for you because of the commitment that they've made for you. And just from a business standpoint, one gap probably in upstate New York, and this will hopefully be solved in time, is peer groups, where you can find great business leaders, but they're not necessarily in your business. And to make sure at a minimum you find a group of people, and in my case I have Conscious Capital, I have YPO, I've got a industry group. Go out of your way to find those people.
Find a mentor in your field.
Yeah, or a group of people just to commiserate with and strategize with that may be like-minded but can give you a different perspective. So that would be another tip. If you're not in a peer group or if you're not benchmarking your business, because we get in a little bit of a bubble up here. We're not in New York City. We're in Utica, which is awesome. But if you don't broaden those horizons, it's hard to continue to grow. So that would be another one. Peer groups, benchmarking, things like that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that our guests have learned a lot. I have to thank the sponsors for this episode. We have the Delta Hotel, Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, and EJA Movers. So thank you so much. And of course, to our Chamber Platinum supporters, thank you for all that you do for helping us keep the Chamber running, the Kelberman Center, Master Vito Hyundai, MVHS, Parliament Nightclub, and Staffworks. Thank you for supporting the Chamber and all of our work. I will be back in 2 weeks. My next guest is Brad Waters from the Sentinel Media Company. As you may have heard, they're moving into the Utica market. So we'll talk a little bit to them about, a local newspaper expanding is really a big deal because newspapers are shutting down. So I'm sure you're going to want to tune into that. Take care and see you soon, Utica.
Yep.